Hey guys, Bike here. So, yeah, the this patch, this video is going to serve as my thoughts on the patch as well as my plans for tomorrow when it comes out. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to try and get this video out there as soon as possible tonight. I am recording this video on July 19th. So, yeah, I tried recording a video for you guys yesterday going over the patch, and I ran out of time, and I was rambling, I was ranting. I decided to just stream, play the game, see how it works, and yeah, so there's a lot of things that happened in the patch. They nerfed a lot of stuff, and they nerfed XP. They were really trying to do away with the group leveling, the power leveling. I think they kind of did double nerf, and it's probably going to hurt the solo XP people a little bit. I don't think it's as bad as I first initially thought. So essentially with the XP, you had, before you had up to +3 would give you an XP bonus, which was at +3 levels of the enemy, of the monsters. We give you a 25% bonus to your XP. I think it started at 15 at level 1. It went up to 20 if they're 2 levels above you, and then 25 at 3 levels above you. Well, they changed that, so now it's kind of a scaling XP bonus, so it's 1.5% bonus XP per level that they are above you, and I think this caps out at 10. So that would be a 15% bonus at 10 levels above you. I don't really see how this makes sense. This affects the solo player a lot, and they were trying to address the groups. And they also did another thing. If you were like, let's say you were level 1 and you were carried all the way to tier 4, which in my opinion is impossible because you would get XP from the capstone dungeons, but let's just go with their example. They said level 1, you're in tier 4, a buddy runs you through a dungeon, you stay at the entrance. Well, you would be getting XP equivalent to a level 100 monster, because each monster level has an intrinsic XP value, and then you would get a bonus if they were X number of levels above you, sort of thing. Well, now that's capped. So the example they use is you're level 1, you're in a tier 4 dungeon, everything's level 100. Well, you're only going to be getting XP as if they were 10 levels above you. So as if they were level 11 monsters, and then you would get a 15% XP bonus on top of that for having your buddy kill these monsters. So they double nerfed the power leveling. And I feel like that took it a step too far, because that's going to affect solo play or people just leveling in groups. Groups will still be the most effective because when you're nearby, you get an XP bonus to people, that sort of thing. I wasn't a big fan of that change, but I think what they're trying to do is they're taking the XP out of killing monsters, not entirely, but some of it, and they're giving it. They're putting a lot more of an XP in completing things. So, like, Tree of Whispers got buffed. I tested it yesterday. At tier 4, I was playing a level 70 Barbarian. I went and did one Tree of Whispers activity because I was just one away from the cap. I unfortunately did not see how much XP I got for completing the one activity. But when I went and turned it in for the cash, I got over 600,000 XP at World Tier 4, which at level 70 is, that's a decent chunk of XP. So I think this is probably going to be the optimal way for leveling, is running these whisper missions. It was already something I was planning on doing anyway, because when you're doing whispers and stuff, you're in the overworld, you're going out, you're doing activities, you can go, do some side quests while you're at it, while doing these activities. But I feel like that's solidified. I think just going into a dungeon and running it over and over again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that's going to work. They also buffed the world tiers. They drop more loot now, and nightmare dungeons drop more loot. I tested this. It definitely drops a lot of loot after one Nightmare Dungeon, just picking up everything. I was just laden with loot. It still wasn't great loot, but I was laden with it, so I guess, you can sell or salvage or something. So that's a bonus or not, depending on how you like to level. So we got that. They made some nerfs to some classes. The one class I thought that got away with this kind of scot-free was the Rogue. And I feel like a lot of other people thought that, but I've been consuming other content creators' content, so to speak, on this from people who actually played Rogue. They said Rogue actually got hit a lot harder than it would look like on paper. All the nerfs to the damages and the survivability and the siphoning blades, they said Rogue got hit hard. I don't play Rogue. I'm just kind of passing along the information that I've acquired here. Druid looked like it got hit hard, but on paper, but in reality, I got on there, I played it. Most of the Druid damage was not touched, other than the critical strike damage and vulnerable nerfs, which, yeah. But the primary one, the nerf to Grizzly Rage, you no longer have Unstoppable for the full duration of Grizzly Rage. You only get it for the first 6 seconds. That's going to be the biggest one, but beyond that, you still have all the damage. You still have all the damage reduction. I got on, I tried it, I cleared a tier 55 Nightmare Dungeon, which I think is like, what is it, like 109 levels above you? Is 109 levels above you. It's level. All the monsters are level 109, so they're 9 levels above you. I cleared it without breaking a sweat, and my build is not optimized for. I moved away from Shapeshift Pulverize. I tried out the more mainstream Pulverize build. I don't do as much damage, but I have more survivability, which definitely going to need it now. My Shapeshift Pulverize build really depended on a number of aspects that got nerfed. We'll go over that real quick. So I feel like that build, it was already falling off. It's going to fall off pretty hard now. So let's go over the rest of the nerfs. Anyway, Druid, I think Druid's still in a good spot. It's probably the best class now. Barbarian got some nerfs. They got some buffs to Rupture. I never used that ability, so I have no idea. It might be good. The biggest nerf that I feel hit Barbarian, other than the Hammer of the Ancients, where it was actually bugged, where if you were using the aspect that kind of turned into a bit of a shockwave. I don't know how big it is. I've never used that one, but there was a bug where on the outside edge of the shockwave, you were actually doing like significantly a huge amount of damage. Well, that got fixed, which actually served as more of a nerf to Hammer of the Ancients, according to many Barbarian players. I played Barbarian in the preseason. I think we're like level 72, 73 right now. I was playing Whirlwind, so I can't really speak to this. I was planning on playing Hammer of the Ancients, and I don't think in season 1, and I don't think those plans have changed, but you know me, I'm going to be loosey-goosey about it. I might reference a guide, but I'm just going to go into it and forge my own path with Barbarian. The big one, because I've been playing Whirlwind, they made a change to Hamstring, where it would apply a slow to bleeding enemies, and you could set it up to where you're always constantly causing bleed damage with a two-handed sword. Well, that one now applies a slow, but only to when they're healthy. And it looks like the slow doesn't linger past healthy. The moment they're out of healthy, the slow ends. Like, it was significant. I could feel it. Like, I was still doing damage, mind you. I was still clearing. But brother or sister, whoever's watching this, it hurt. It definitely hurt. The consistent damage with Whirlwind really hurt. So if there's a way you can proc slow, I would say go ahead and go for it. But yeah, that one definitely hurt. Still playing Barbarian. Still going with Barbarian. But yeah, So I referenced a few of these nerfs. They nerfed vulnerable damage. They nerfed critical strike damage. But and they said this was in the interest of making the other damage types more desirable. They didn't buff those. They left them as is, so they kind of brought the other ones down, which I get, power creep, right? But then they also went and nerfed all the survivability aspects. You know, disobedience nerfed, damage reductions on certain stuff nerfed, has been nerfed. I don't have the full list here. It's okay. I would highly encourage you guys to go read the patch notes. This is just my thoughts on the matter. So you have all these nerfs to survivability to ensure that, I guess, to increase they called it like a high risk, high reward type thing. I don't know if they used that verbiage, but the idea was you do more damage, but they do more damage to you, so it becomes a matter of skill, which I get. But there's definitely instances where you just get like perma CC'd. You get one shot from a corpse bow off screen that you can't see. Those are all still there. You just, like, I was getting one shot on Barbarian. Like, I could definitely feel it. Content I was clearing easily before. I was getting one shot in some areas if I didn't get all my shouts and everything up there. So, you do less damage overall. Like, honestly, the nerfs to critical strike damage and vulnerable, you do less damage. Like, that's the dissonance. They wanted you to do more damage but take more damage, so high risk. You do less damage. They nerfed the two biggest ones that were dealing damage. They're still the most desirable stats. Even after nerfing them, it's not like we're all running out and grabbing, damage to distant enemies or anything like that. I mean, for some builds, yeah, for sure. But, damage to injured, I'm not really grabbing that. So, we shall see. I think the biggest thing is, after playing it, it didn't feel like it was doom and gloom, but on paper and in reality, in some cases, it hurt. It hurt a lot. I'm still looking forward to Season 1. It could be that all of these nerfs and some buffs in some areas were justified because of the Malignant Hearts that are coming out tomorrow, but that pretty much just screwed anybody in the Eternal Realm who maybe didn't want to play in the season and just get their character up to Season 1. It felt like they were balancing the entire game around the season, and everybody in the Eternal Realm just got screwed. I don't know. That might be hyperbolic, but that's kind of how I feel on the matter. So let's go over my plans for tomorrow when I start playing. I do have the day off, which is good. But I had the day off for other reasons. So I will try and get home as soon as possible and stream. But I'm probably not going to be streaming all day. But when I do get on and I do start playing, I do start streaming, I will let the normal places know: Twitter, Facebook. I have a Facebook group. I have a Twitter page. Highly encourage you to go follow that. I'll be streaming on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/babblingBike. So encourage you to come out, take a look, see what's going on. What I'm probably going to be doing is trying to grab my renown and level at the same time. So I'm going to be trying to do whisper missions, but also do some renown in those areas. Focus on the dungeons, particularly the dungeons for the whisper missions, because you get the aspects out of there. Try and line it up to where I can multitask. Maybe if there's a side quest that I'm aware of that... excuse me again. If there's a side quest that I'm aware of, I can go grab that side quest that then is linked to a dungeon. Hopefully that dungeon also happens to be a whisper dungeon. I'm going to try and maximize my time as much as possible, but I want to get my renown up, and I want to get my XP up. I would like to, by the end of the weekend, probably be close to doing the capstone dungeon. I will try and stream on the weekends, even though I don't normally stream on the weekends. This Saturday and Sunday, I think I'm going to try and stream a little extra. The reason why is because we got Baldur's Gate 3 coming up in 2 weeks, and that's a game I've been looking forward to for a long time. And so, of course, I'm going to have to put Diablo down to go play Baldur's Gate. I don't have to. I am going to, because I've been really looking forward to this game. I will be streaming it here. Well, not here, but on my Twitch channel. I do have plans to try and upload like some highlight reels, maybe condensed sessions, Twitch streaming sessions, but that's a plan. Who knows? Anyway, that's how I'm going to be going about it. I'm going to just be playing whatever build I can get. Since I was playing on Hoda, I'm probably going to go try and get the aspect that kind of turns it into a bit of a shockwave, kind of like the pulverized druid, since that one actually is an aspect you can find in the codex. And yeah, that's my plans for the season. Those are my thoughts on the patch. And anyway, you guys have fun. Take care. Have a good one. Cheers.